Vegas, Minnesota. That's the matchup. So this is what Minnesota gets for starting the season super hot and saving their season. Joel Eriksson coming back, scoring 4 goals in his return. They just lock up that playoff spot, and you get to play Vegas.
As the top wild card.
I know. That's rough.
Yeah, but it's their fault. Like, you're bad for like 3 months of the year because you're injured to hell and you fall. Like, they were one of the best teams in the league, right there with Winnipeg all first half of the season. Then Kaprizov goes down, and there's your season. And a couple other guys too.
They've found ways to win and stave off playoff elimination down the stretch. But
yeah,
most of these series, I'm like, yeah, I can see it. No, sorry, folks, not to spoil it at the beginning, but I don't think so.
This will be their second meeting. The first time they met, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Minnesota Wild in 7 games in 2020, 2021. And you can be forgiven for forgetting that because who the hell remembers that year anyway?
You could be making that up.
100% I could. I could totally be making that up right now. And in fact, it's me, so you might want to double check it. But let's talk a little bit about the Minnesota Wild and the comeback that they've had in the season where for most of the season, Jan 1st, they were right there with the Jets. Feb 1st, they were right off of the very, very close to tops in there, at least in their division. By March 1st, the wheels had started to fall off.
Yeah.
They saved the season. Is that a good thing, playing under pressure that late in the season when other teams, perhaps like Vegas, are not?
Oh, it definitely can be. There are some teams near the top of the standings that they're going into the playoffs a little fat and happy. It's a difficult switch to just turn on. The Wild don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They had to fight tooth and nail right up until basically the last day. It's possible we're sleeping on them.
Okay.
When they fell off, we all know why. It wasn't because they randomly started to suck one day. It was because they lost Kaprizov, who was at the time. There was an episode from around Christmas where you're like, who's your heart pick? And I said Kaprizov.
Well, honestly,
and he just got hurt. I was like, he'll be back soon.
When he got hurt, though, did it not prove that he is the most valuable player to his team?
Oh, yeah. I think it added to the argument 100%.
Could you not give him heart votes even though he played only half the season? Why not?
And Eriksson there were a bunch of players that the Four Nation Faceoff was very kind to, and I thought Eriksson was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then he comes back and scores 4 goals. They played enough games with neither of those guys, and they still fared okay. Not great, but okay.
The games played total for Kaprizov 41, Eriksson 46, Brodin 50.
Brodin's a big one too.
Spurgeon 66. They've been injured all year long.
So we might be sleeping on them, but there's also reasonable doubt that they're at 100%.
Yeah, how healthy Kaprizov's gonna, I assume, be in the series.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying at the time. And how healthy is that Kaprizov?
This could be the series that loses people the most money. Honestly, it could be because listen, I've already given the game away. I'm not picking Minnesota. Nope. But if they win, this is why.
Who are you not picking?
Minnesota. 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 Gotta do it. I'm not picking Minnesota because they've been so injured.
Now, I do have to give Bill Guerin a ton of credit here. This is the 3rd season in a row where they're paying a crazy cap penalty with Suter and Parise's contracts, which is crazy.
They're going to be fine.
And they did well the first year. Last year, they missed the playoffs. They're back in again this year, and with bazillions of dollars to spend this offseason, which is also kind of crazy. One guy I want to highlight before we go to the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's obvious why the Vegas Golden Knights are good, but we're going to break it down anyway. I want to talk about Philip Gustafsson. Mm-hmm. This was, for the first couple of months of the year, the best goalie in the league.
Oh, the goalie for Minnesota! Sorry. Jesse, I can't focus. It's just replaying in my head now. All right, sorry.
Anyway, 914 save percentage, 31-19-6, 256 goals against average. Obviously, those numbers are not the 930 that he had through October and November, but I mean, he kind of is the linchpin here, is he not?
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason his numbers probably aren't otherworldly is like the whole team fell off, right?
Right.
It's kind of hard to throw up a 930 when you have to be your team's best player every damn night. He's the reason that this series isn't a foregone conclusion, right? Like you get a good goalie and a good performance, anything can happen. The Minnesota Wild have gotten better incrementally. I like their decor. It's not bad at all. I think Gustafsson, I mean, they're not going to get swept, put it that way.
Okay. All right. Jesse, thoughts on Gustafsson?
Yeah, from February 1st onwards, from February 1st to the end of the season, Gustafsson was a 913. And then if you look at from October 1st to January 31st, he was a 914. And the thing that changed in that half little percentage of save percentage, just the win totals. Yeah. Like he was playing the exact same way in terms of save percentage and stopping the puck, but the team around him was not as good.
Right.
So if Gustafsson gets a better team in front of him, like he could steal a series. And like you're talking about, this could be the biggest upset, because I think if you look at the like percentage of people who are picking one team in this bracket, I think the most people out of all 8 series will be picking Vegas. But it's not that this team can't surprise people because of a player like Gustafsson who can steal these games, because he hasn't changed his play. It's been the team around him.
You know how I know Vegas is going to win? The only team we've talked about so far is Minnesota.
Yeah, well,
because we're trying to be nice. We are.
I think that's just where we started.
I know.
So let's go to the Vegas Golden Knights. They, in their history since 17-18, lost in the Stanley Cup Finals their first year, lost in the first round their second year, lost in the conference final their third year, lost in the Stanley Cup semifinals to the Canadiens. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, so conference finals. Then they didn't qualify for the playoffs, just missed, by the way. And then they won the cup. And last year they lost to the Stars in the first round in the 7th game. What is this team now? They're clearly playoff hardened. There's been a lot of aggressive moves in there. They have one of, and I'm going to say it, the most underrated centers in the league in Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel never, ever gets his due. The Vegas Golden Knights are so much to be excited
He's become a crazy two-way player.
He is crazy.
He's become a really good one. I saw a beef video the other day. I don't remember who made it, but like supposedly Nazem Kadri chirped his two-way game.
Oh, really?
Years and years ago. Like all the way back in the Leaf Sabres days for these two. And Eichel's turned into like this two-way force. Mark Stone, that D-core is so big and nasty and huge. And Aiden Hill, I mean, he's not like a world-beating goalie, but you know you can win a Stanley Cup with them on account of they did. But it's actually this new wave of guys in Vegas. Obviously, you lose Jonathan Marchessault, who won the damn Conn Smythe for you. But the new wave of guys is led, in my opinion, by Pavel Dorofeev, who has been.
You mean Dorofeev?
Whoa. Now.
That's how Minnesota views him.
Whoa! Wow. Well, they shouldn't say that.
Why not? Why do you love him so much?
It's mean. No, he's just. I mean, he's a Vegas Golden Knight, like built in a lab. Like just a big dude who can score.
Jesse, what are you looking at on your computer right now?
No, I was thinking about the video you're talking about Kadri and Eichel and their 9-year feud.
Have you seen it too?
You know where you saw it?
Where?
This little program called Hockey Night in Canada.
Oh, get out. I've never heard of
Was
that.
it really?
Yeah. It was the Hockey Night in Canada panel who was talking about how Kadri chirped him 9 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
and then Eichel never forgot that. And then they had their little thing the last time they played. It was Calgary Vegas on Hockey Night. So that's where that came from. I just wanted to
thank you for that.
To remind you.
It was good. It was very good.
But for me, where I start with the Vegas Golden Knights, you start with Jack Eichel because, like Adam said, he's the most underrated superstar in this league right now. His speed is that of McKinnon and McDavid, but he does not get the credit for it. The way he transitions through the neutral zone and carries the puck into the zone and sets up offense that way is unmatched in this league unless it's with those guys like McKinnon and McDavid. So he deserves that credit. But then I go to the back end where it's McNabb, Theodore, Whitecloud, Haig, Petro, and Hannafin.
Wow.
Like that core of D is, in my opinion, the best 6 that you can put out there on the ice. They're huge. They can move the puck, and I don't think anybody can compete with that defense.
I don't know if a potentially not 100% Kirill Kaprizov could be going up against a worse opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't it piss you off that they got Shea Theodore for free too? Like, jeez.
just about everything about the Vegas Golden Knights pisses me off.
That just makes me so mad. Now, one guy on Vegas that I want to pay particular attention to because depth matters in the playoffs, right? Depth matters. And the guy that had 18 points in 22 games when they won the Cup, and by the way, this is a 2-time Stanley Cup winner because he won it in St. Louis as well, is Ivan Barbashev.
Yes.
This guy is a spectacular depth centerman who's just a beast to play against. You're going to see him for 14 or 15 minutes a night max. But that is the kind of guy. Did I say centerman? Sometimes winger. So yeah.
Well, you know who is a centerman?
Why did I call him a center?
That's
Thomas Hertl.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Who last year he was returning from injury and immediately basically jumps into this ridiculous series against the Stars. He's had a full season and he's been with a good team and he's ridiculous.
Barbashev has 51 points in 70 games this year.
Barbashev can play center though. Like
he can.
He can.
Yeah. Doesn't win a lot
Maybe
of
he
faceoff
plays
draws, but I don't know why.
wing, but yeah.
He's a guy that I love on the Vegas Golden Knights. And let's talk a little bit about goaltending because obviously we mentioned Phil Gustafson, but Team Canada's backup, Aiden Hill, Stanley Cup winner, is in net. And I'm just kind of curious to know what you guys think about their goaltending situation and how it stacks up against Phil Gustafson in the Wild.
Well, I mean, to me, it needs to be Aiden Hill.
Right.
Like,
it can't be Sammy.
well, you can't have Aiden Hill play a bad few games and be like, all right, Sammy, we're turning it over to you.
Right.
He did have...
You're just traumatized.
Well, I am. But like his over his career, he has not been good in the playoffs.
Sammy, this is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was unreal in that series against Tampa and was not good in Washington, was not good in Toronto after that Tampa series. So it's got to be Aiden Hill, but like you got through 4 rounds with him. I think he'll be fine.
What's crazy about Aiden Hill's numbers, guys, is, he's like a 906, 907 goaltender in the regular season. In the playoffs, he's played only 20 games, but 20 games is enough.
Yeah.
His save percentage averages out at .932.
Well, how about this? 906 save percentage this season, record of 32, 13, and 5. So the Kings don't rely on goaltending. I mean,
the Knights.
The Knights. Sorry, wrong chess piece.
The Kings do, actually.
Yes, the Kings do. The
Wrong
Gold
chess
Knights.
piece is funny.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Yes.
The Golden Knights don't rely on goaltending, so it's not all that bad if Minnesota has the better goalie in this series. That's not the way the Golden Knights are built anyway.
Now, SDPN staff member and producer of my live streams, Hayden Matheson, is a huge Wild fan. When I ask you about your predictions, gentlemen, how pissed off do you think he's going to be?
He is very reasonable and smart, and he knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah, he's not going to be surprised at people not picking the Wild.
Okay, so what are your predictions?
As a sign of respect to Hayden, Golden Knights in 5.
Golden Knights in 5.
I think it's going to be Hulk picking up Loki by the legs and smashing him all over the place.
Jesse, do you agree?
I'll give it one more game. I'll say Vegas in 6.
I will too say Vegas in 6. I gotta give the Minnesota Wild some props for how they were.
Soft.
You think so? You think we're soft?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not the Wild. They're not soft. I think you two are soft.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Leave your predictions in the comments. I want to know what kind of series you think it is, who's going to be a factor, and of course, how it will all end up. Do we have anybody actually, unironically, picking Minnesota who is not from Minnesota?
I thought you were going to say, and of course, sign up for our bracket challenge.
Our bracket challenge. Hey, we had a bracket challenge. Sign up for that too. It's the links in the description.